Hey guys, Chav, RNRacecars&Hotrods. I've had a couple people messing me about some updates on Little Red. For those of you who don't know, it's the Fox Body Mustang you're looking at right here. We been a little busy, so getting a lot of stuff done. Life and just real work gets in the way a lot of times, so we hadn't been able to get a lot done on the shop car. But we got some done. I'm gonna go over with it a little bit. I'm trying to make a quick video. I'll post it up YouTube or TikTok or whatnot so you guys can look at it. So I'm mainly putting this on YouTube just because it's kind of a build series, but hope you guys enjoy it. But we'll go over here and take a look at what we did. So what we ended up doing was we ended up doing it a little different than I would probably do it next time because this took a little longer than we were planning. But they make this entire kit where you can cut it out and weld it in. RNRac makes it, which does our race car stuff. So they make our rear ends for our race car stuff. A lot of times if we don't make them in-house, we made one for the third gen Camaro. We made that one. We just had a raw housing. We put it in. But back to Little Red here. They make an entire piece that you can take to cut all this out, put it in. It's real nice and clean. It's a little expensive, but at the end of the day, by the time the labor of welding all this up, we had to MIG weld all this. The stuff's real nasty. It doesn't weld good. The reasoning for all this work, I don't know if you guys could see real well, but so we had to notch the frame rail so the car could set real low. We notched and beveled this part of the frame rail because we put, these are doublers, and we added 2 more holes up here above. This hole right here is the factory hole. So, and that's where the factory upper control arm mounts. The reason for all this is because the car does set low, and as you raise the rear end up, this bottom bar angles down. So, and you don't want that bottom bar to angle down. It throws the geometry off on the rear end to where this thing does not want to hook up. So you raise that top bar up to where it goes into this hole, and then you have a better geometry on the way the setup is on the back. I'll go to the rear end here in a minute. Same thing with the lower control arm. As you go up with the rear end, you got to lower that bar to keep the angle on the lower control arm so that it's set up properly to where it the instant center and whatnot is set right on the car to where this thing actually does hook up if you go down the track. As I said, we notched all this frame rail and whatnot. The bevel in it, I don't know if you can see it here, it's flat here and an angle there is so you can stick the bolt in the top. But that all turned out pretty well. Again, this is all MIG welded, but we ended up welding up all of these brackets just to make all this stronger because this factory stuff is just not that strong. We even tackle a little bit of the floor there, but we go in and we just weld a little bit of all this. Again, my suggestion would be is to buy a RNRac or a 10 soldier or something that already has something that you can cut out and put in there, especially if you're going to be real aggressive with it and you're going to do a race style suspension setup in it. Sorry, try not to blind y'all with the light, but we got the coil shock mount in. This is mounted in. Obviously, this was all TIG welded off the car, and then we brought it in and TIG welded it on the frame rails. But we had to notch the spare tire well. We left it in there. We were going to cut it all the way out, build a box and whatnot, but we wanted to use a regular gas tank or something similar to a regular factory gas tank, but we just couldn't figure out a way to make it work with getting these coilovers in here where we need it. So we ended up having to cut some of the wheel well, tin it back. It's panel bonded on the seams. It's all welded up, but the fuel cell sits inside there. We're going to come back with, the goal is to come back if we can make it work. And we're going to put the shroud that goes underneath, the fuel cell shroud or whatnot, that goes underneath to where it'll still look like it has a factory fuel cell in it. So The lower control arms, let me go over here. So as I was talking about on the uppers, is that you have to adjust it as the rear end goes up. I think most everybody, excuse the shop guys, it's been busy and everything's kind of crazy, disaster around here. So I went over this, I think, a while back, but this is the 8.8. I don't know if I have it on the YouTube channel or not, but anyway, this is the 8.8 that came out of this car. We put ends on it. Tin Soldier actually makes a kit that you can put all on this, or they sell the rear end already built like this. So, but we buy their lower control arm brackets, and again, the reason is because it has all these adjustment holes to where you can get your hole down, you can get your lower control arm, and you can get the angle right on the lower control arm. We use those. We use their shock mount brackets, and that's pretty much it. I mean, we have the chromoly here and all that. We do all of that. There was a piece, I'll show you on the shock mount bracket, but what we did do is we put this, this is an anti-roll bar. It's a lower mount anti-roll bar, so it goes on the bottom. We installed this on here just because of body roll and whatnot, and we didn't want to get the rear end powder coated or epoxy painted and get it all done and then not have it on there and then later go, man, we should put an anti-roll bar on it. So we went ahead and installed an anti-roll bar. We got that on there. It turned out good. It mounts to underneath. It's nice and clean. It goes to that shock mount. Again, you can get this, I think it's called a Battle Ready Kit from Tin Soldiers. And it actually comes with this plate, these bars. It comes with everything. I don't think it comes with the housing ends, but this rear end's been shortened. It's all been shortened. We just cut a piece of chromoly out, did it identical the way they do it. So it's not like we did anything any different. Welded up tubes. All of it's TIG welded and whatnot, but you need to use a different rod. You need to use a different rod when you're welding to the cast iron because cast iron's really bad about cracking, so and getting cracks in it. The ends in almost every one of these 8.8s are usually the ends are offset a little bit, just because of these rear ends. As you see, the way this thing is braced up is it goes this way. So you kind of wonder why, if you're not familiar with these, kind of wonder why the braces go this way. It's because when these things bend, the tubes come forward. So it kind of bows, kind of like if you laid it on its back, it would bow like this. So, so almost all of them are a little off-centered, but when you run the shaft through them and you true them up, you end up seeing how bent they are. Some of them are bent so bad you can't even put the ends on them, so they're so bad. But the reason for this bracing is because the more horsepower you got, the more it tries to pull on these tubes. The longer the tubes, the easier it is to pull on them, obviously because of leverage and mathematics that we all learned in school back in the day. So this happens because of the lower control arm pulling on it, the lower control arm pulling on it whenever you create the power or whatnot, and then the upper control arm actually is at an angle, so that wasn't trying to get to the point where I was explaining how the geometry works on a 4-link, so on a angled 4-link for a small block, a Ford. So, but the upper ones are angled, the lower ones are straight, so it is basically a 4-link similar to like a lot of the race car stuff. But the lower control arm's what pulls on it, and then that's what causes the tubes to bend inwards, even in stock form. So they tend to pull forward both sides. So whenever you brace this keeps the leverage from it pulling forward on both sides. Hopefully I explained that clear as mud, but that's the reason for the bracing on the front. And then the bracing on the back, this actually welds. I don't know if I can So actually welds here to the bottom. I think I've already done a little video on this, but actually welds the bottom, and then it ties in here in between the brackets. So that's a whole nother bracket. That's pretty self-explanatory. And we got the anti-roll bar that mounts to that. So, but again, guys, this is going to be a short video. We're undercoating this whole car. So the whole car is going to get undercoated. We're going to, we have all of our bracketry in for the 6-speed Chevrolet transmission in here already. We got all the bracketry for that. This thing already had some subframes on it, so we had to kind of clean up some of the welding on it. It was all MIG welded again. All the stuff was pretty nasty, but the undercoat's going to stop right here in the tunnel, and it's going to be all back. We'll have it go up under the fenders and whatnot. Basically, everything that's going to be underneath the car. All of this is going to get painted. I'll do another video, maybe tie it into this or crop it in. I'm not a big editor, so but we'll try to, when we get the car down to where you guys can see the underneath the car that's going to get painted. But yeah, so hopefully today or tomorrow we'll get this thing all undercoated. It's supposed to go this week to the shop to get painted. My buddy Brandon's doing it. He owns an RV shop, and they do unbelievable work. So I might try to do a little video when we go over there to pick it up or whatnot. But I'll try to get better at these this year, guys. Again, I'm not a great videographer, so if that's what you call it. But I do know that I have some people out there that message me wanting to see some of this stuff. So here you go. Hopefully it helps you out. If you got any questions, you can message me, send me a message, and ask away. I'll be happy to answer them. Facebook, I'll put this on Facebook as well as just a recording, so that's usually the best way to get a hold of it. RN Race Cars and Hot Rods is the Facebook page. So, but feel free to hit us up, and we'll answer any questions you got and try to help you out. So, but we thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, click the link, like it, do what you can to help us out. So we're just a little shop trying to have some fun with these things. So we appreciate it, guys. Thanks.